Enemies are laughing while our friends are feeling the pain. The Russian friends that I've met here, from all political levels, sincerely hope that things would end up soon in favor of the Syrian people by reconciliation. It's my pleasure and my honor to send my greetings from here to President Putin and to Minister Lavrov, and to all friends who were not deceived by the fake news presented by mainstream Western media and Arab mass media. In reality, our Russian friends have told me things about Syria that I was unaware of myself. They monitor the situation very closely, and they know what is going on and what will happen there a week later. This is why I'm confident that we still have many friends.
You are a religious leader of Syria, but when you're abroad, when you're in Russia, you're here as a politician, of course, not as a religious leader. So I would like to ask you, how do you consider Russia? What's Russia's place in the Syrian chart of friends and foes? I mean, friends and enemies, yes? Because Russia, Moscow, doesn't offer you unconditional support, does it?
Firstly, Russia in its current position is not supporting the Syrian government. Rather, it is supporting Syria as a state and the Syrian people. The Russian support, in fact, means that Russia is supporting itself, because Syria is the last gate through which, if conquered, extremism and terror would move on into Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan and other countries. Let's remember the attempted assassination of the Tatar Mufti a month ago. If Western-backed extremists score a triumph in Syria, they would move on to the independent states located around Russia. For this reason, Russia not only stands by Syria, it also stands for itself. It is in fact defending itself against extremism. In its present position, Russia is defending Islam and Christianity alike. Russia is standing by justice against the monster America, who wants to devour the whole world. America wants to conquer the Mediterranean and make it a private lake. They have demanded us not to allow Russian vessels sail in our waters, but we have strongly rejected their demands. We told them that we don't accept conditions from abroad. We are free in our choice. Therefore, Russia is not only showing itself as a friend to Syria and to the Syrian people, but it shows itself as a leader in the area of justice, a leader in the United Nations and its Security Council, and a supporter of weaker nations and weaker states. This is evident in Russia's stance on Iran's peaceful nuclear program. The West has been opposing this program, seeking to prevent it, while Russia insists that people have the right to own their peaceful nuclear programs.
I want to quote you once again. You say Syria is the only country that has not kneeled down at the feet of the United States of America. Well, but what about Iran in the Middle East? I mean, there's a lot of countries, not only around the world, but in the Middle East, who are fully independent, and they are independent from the United States. What makes you say so, that you're the only one?
I believe that Syria and Iran are not the only nations that have not yielded to American pressure. Sure, there are other countries, such as North Korea, Cuba, and many other nations who have refused to kneel to the United States. For us, when we say that we will not kneel to America, this doesn't mean that we are hostile to the American people. We are against the American policy, which wants to control the whole world. Likewise, we have no problem with Jews as such, except for those who have occupied our territories. Our problems are therefore with American policies. We have a problem with America when it goes to Afghanistan and bombs it, or when it goes to Iraq and does the same, while providing Israel with 100 aircraft once every 3 years. Then they deny Russia the right to provide us with medical equipment, for instance. Why do they have the right to do things that they ban others from? America is the world's largest arms manufacturer and exporter, and no one can object to that. Last year, they sold $35 billion worth of weapons to Israel. Who has objected? Listen to them when they officially declare that Russia has violated the international law by selling 2 helicopters to Syria. Hence, Syria will not yield to their will, and Russia would not stand still, and Iran will continue to develop its technology. If they impose economic sanctions against us, we'll still have the support of our friends. For this reason, the Russian foreign minister has stated that economic sanctions against Syria would not work. I say that sanctions will only make us stronger. We will not kneel.
The United States is so deeply involved these days, both politically and militarily, in the conflicts in your region, that many people say that another military intervention in Syria, is only a matter of time, that it will happen sooner or later. So, do you think that an intervention is really possible? And if it is possible, do you think Syria may avoid the Libyan scenario?
First, Syria is not Libya, because we don't have the petrol to pay off the West, nor are we Iraq. They have controlled the oil fields in Iraq and Libya for 25 years now. Meanwhile, Syria has managed to stand against their aggression for over 17 months, and it will continue to do so until we succeed in securing a better future for our people. The opposition in Syria should wake up and realize that they are not serving the interests of Syria and the Syrian people. Instead, they are working for the West. That's why we are calling upon them to come to dialogue and try to solve our problems ourselves. I do not believe that a military intervention against Syria is all but impossible. But I am sure that with the first missile impacting in Syria, the whole Arab world and all Islamic countries will rise and ask the West why they are doing this to Syria. You've done this in Libya for its oil, and in Tunisia you've pretended it's for democracy, while bringing extremists to power. And now you shall taste the bitterness of their deeds. In Egypt, the same is true. Although we don't oppose the will of the Egyptian people or the people of Tunisia, we stand strongly against the parties that rule in the name of religion. This is very dangerous. I don't support the Democratic Christian Party in Europe, nor do I support the parties that rule in the name of religion. I'm calling upon the Islamic parties that are now in power in the Arab world to reform themselves into secular political parties and keep religion separated from politics.
Marhaba, thank you very much, shukran. And just a reminder that my guest today was Ahmad Badreddin Hassoun, Grand Mufti of Syria. And that's it for now from all of us here. If you want to have your Syrian Spotlight, you can always drop me a line, my email. Spotlight will be back with more first-hand comments on what's going on in and outside Russia. Until then, stay on RT and take care.